and we'd rather not to stay here on the show and waste a lot of time arguing about a dead black man when whites are our common enemies.
Well, no doubt, of course, he teaches you that, and no doubt you understand.
We don't have to teach it. You
Yeah,
don't have to
that's
teach
right.
a black man that whites is his enemies.
Well, you see, from my point of view, what Elijah Muhammad is doing to you is diseasing your mind. You sit and tell me that we white people like to divide and conquer.
You do.
I grew up as a white child. I heard much more talk against Democrats than I did against black people. And I grant there's a lot of division in the sense that Republicans divide
And
Democrats
Democrats and Republicans don't lynch each other and castrate each other,
Oh,
and burn
yes,
each other,
they
and
do.
target and feather each other,
Yes, they do.
and rape and slave
they-
for 400 years.
Now, wait a minute. This is...
I would like to ask you a
This is
question.
one of
I'd
the
like to ask you a
difficulties.
question. Who, 22 million black people in America, who would you say our everyday common enemy is? What other country or what nationality? I mean, you know, you have the nerve to be on a TV show like this and look at me like I'm wrong for saying Elijah Muhammad is poisoning you by telling you that we're your enemies. And I feel it and see it every day. And every black man watching this show know you are enemies. And you have the nerve to stand up here and say Elijah Muhammad is poisoning my mind. He cannot teach us that you are enemy. You taught us, and your people daily. Martin Luther King is bumped off unjustly. Adam Clayton Powers bumped off unjustly. They took my title unjustly. They killed Megas Ever unjustly. All the integrators who love white folks was unjustly kicked out of Washington. They've been deprived of education and poverty throughout the country. They just came back from Vietnam, 12 boys in Chicago, and they sat on the television and they told how white soldiers are teaching Viet Congs to hate them. They fly rebel communist flags, and they doing everything that they can to them right there in Vietnam. Now you're going to tell me that Elijah Muhammad and trying to make the public think that he's poisoning me by teaching us the truth. If here's his latest newspaper.
Now, wait a minute.
Here's his latest, no, hold it there. Here's his latest newspaper, Muhammad Speaks. Now it's full of truth. You can get the paper in every city. You can buy Muhammad Speaks. And if this, I mean, you're a wise man, but I don't think you're too much wiser than the ones who run the country in the White House.
Much wiser.
No.
Let me try to make this point, because
no one challenges nothing he teach. You're intelligent, I'm intelligent. We all know he's here. So I'm not here to tell you something you don't know about.
No. I'm simply telling you that you believe something which I happen to know isn't true.
Now hold it.
See,
what is it that I believe?
You believe
it's not true.
You believe that the entire white community is your enemy. I happen to know it's not your enemy. I doubt if there's anybody in this room who is your
I tell
enemy.
you what.
But I do believe that just as Hitler persuaded all the Germans to believe that all of the Jews were their enemy, that the people are engaged in spreading this kind of virulence, and that some very, very sincere people get caught up in it. You're an example of it. And under the circumstances, you end up doing a disservice to the cause that you really want to serve.
Would you say Martin Luther King doing a disservice?
What is the relevance of that remark? Just whether you went to school or not, explain to me the relevance of that remark.
No, I'm asking you the question. You said I'm doing a disservice.
You mean because he was killed by a white man?
No.
So I said Malcolm X was killed by a black man.
I'm not talking about that.
So what else is new?
No, you're getting upset. I'm not talking about that.
Well,
all I asked you was Elijah Muhammad is doing a disservice or whatever it is that he's doing.
Yeah.
Well,
at one level he's doing it.
What's the level?
At the level of trying to persuade people that all white people are the same and despise Negro people.
All right, now number one.
At the level in which he urges you to self-pride, the rest of it he's doing you a great service.
Let's look at some of the things he's doing.
Go ahead, Mr. Ali, excuse me.
You say one thing that he's doing that's not so good, trying to persuade black people that all white people are no good and our enemies.
Yeah.
You have about 180 million whites in America, and Madison Square Garden holds about how many people?
You know better than that.
About how many? About 20,000. So if you could, which is impossible, fill up Madison Square Garden with white liberals who will die for blacks. Color means nothing, and will give up the whole system and their own people and their richness. I mean, just all out, color means nothing. If you could get 20,000, which is impossible to fill.
I don't say color doesn't mean nothing.
If we had an arena with, 10 million people in it, of whites, all you say really good and mean right. If you had 10 million, you have 170 million to rule them out. So what I'm trying to say, I see a white man die in a riot. He didn't want to die, or in a demonstration for blacks. America's in Vietnam dropping bombs now.
Now, wait a minute, let's get back to Madison Square Garden. Because it's one thing to say that white people aren't the enemies of black people, and another thing to say that color doesn't make any difference. It does. So does race, so does religion. For instance, the Italians and the Irish in New York get along pretty well. But this doesn't mean that the fact that somebody is an Italian makes no difference at all, or that he's an Irishman makes no difference at all. The question is, are they enemies?
Yeah, what I was referring to is say that you had some whites that didn't pay attention to color. What I mean, you know, we all equal. That's what I meant to say. It wouldn't help the problem. I mean, there's so few. For every one white that you can find me that you may say that's liberal, it means right, I'm sure that you could find 5,000 to every one who would kill him for trying to help. So there's so few until, here's what I'm trying to say.
Why aren't there more dead white liberals? How many can you count? I can count it. As a matter of fact, I did count as recently as 2 months ago because I did a story on it, and I counted 12.
Well, in the NACP, the core of the Urban League, and all these organizations, and many of them, they've completely dropped out. It was not too long ago in the news where that all the whites have dropped out of all these organizations. Things are getting so critical until the liberal, you don't see him no more. He just had to flee back into his own.
Oh, come on. They're coming out of the ceiling. They're all over the place. They're right here. You'll meet them in just a moment. Very articulate liberals. Look, try to understand me. That do you accept as a matter of faith that Elijah Muhammad can't deceive you?
Do what?
You take it as a matter of faith that he cannot deceive you?
I imagine he can deceive anybody if he wants to.
Well, now, is it conceivable that he would want to deceive you?
For what
by
reason?
Suggesting that people feel about you the way, in fact, they don't? Well, for the reason because...
Well, he's not deceiving us about white people.
Well, some people, of course, insist that he is, including Malcolm X.
No, sir, not about white people.
Yeah.
I know he's right. Everything he say about white people is right. Even when he say you the devil.
And that's correct, too.
Yes, sir. All the way.
How did the devil make out so well?
Make out so well how?
Dominates the United States.
Oh, the Bible predicted that the devil would rule Earth for 6,000 years. Now it's
How
over.
far into those 6,000 years are we?
Exactly, I don't know. If you want to know,
About halfway?
if you really wanted to know, if you really wanted to know about Islam, and I'm just a student, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the man who could really go deep into this, you know. But
how do you account for the fact that he has been rejected by, according to his own figures, 97% of the black people of America?
Well,
how do you account for the fact that none of the prominent, with the exception of you, none of the prominent black leaders of America are subscribers to Elijah Muhammad?
Subscribers to what now? What?
To his religion or to his movement? Not even James Baldwin, who heard it.
I would say this to you. Everything that black people are doing today come from Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They're having school problems. We want black schools. We want black teachers. This is his program. Being natural. They are black now. They don't want to be called Negroes. This comes out of Elijah Muhammad.
Does that really make any difference?
Hold it. At the latest Black Power conference, all of the black leaders got together and said, we want separate states from whites. This is stolen from Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They want their own schools. They want their own businesses, supermarkets. They're now talking about...
If you say they stole it from him, suppose I say he stole it from the communists.
Hold it.
They were preaching this in the early 30s, the Black Belt.
Hold it. What I'm trying to say is that everything that our people are doing today, every leader that you can bring up from Ron Karing of the Black Panthers, Eldridge Cleaver, Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael, Rap Brown, people such as myself in the struggle, everybody you can name talking black or preaching anything black, they are ex-Muslims. They heard it from, when you say why they don't follow him, they'll follow him and don't know it, but they haven't yet accepted him religiously.
Now, if you say that there is a correspondence between what he preaches and what other black leaders preach, the answer is yes, that's true. The question is, what is the significance of that correspondence? There's a correspondence between what the Democratic Party wants and the Communist Party wants. It doesn't mean that
your major,
dominates the other,
I understand. Your major question was, how come 97% rejects him?
Yeah.
And 97% of the people really don't know enough about him to really reject him or hate him. But they are so enticing by the wealth of America. For an example, I have a black friend. I could be a Muslim. I go for what you go for. I believe the white man's the devil, but not the woman. I got a pretty white girl. So he can't join because he's got a white girlfriend.
He's not sincere. He's not sincere.
You understand? So this is why he haven't joined. Another fella, I go for the Muslims. I go for everything you preach, but I gotta have my pork chops and ham hocks. I can't quit eating my pork.
Yeah.
Another fellow, what's wrong with a little reefer? You understand? To be a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you have to completely abstain from alcohol, fornication, adultery, killing, stealing, lying.
Gets tougher and tougher.
Well, yes, same with, even in the days of Jesus, in the days of Moses, and everything that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad preaches in the way of living clean, Christianity preaches, but they just don't. You can be a Christian and commit adultery. You can drink, you can smoke, you can drink wine because Jesus drank it. And you can nightclub and party, but you can't. You can wear mini skirts and be followers of Jesus.
Yeah.
You understand, but not being a Muslim. So I would say that the people are not rejecting the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because they don't believe what he teaches.
But it's too tough.
You're right.
It's too tough. Well,
it's not that it's too tough, but they just haven't looked in it
not
enough
committed enough,
to
I think that's
really
a very good
check
point.
it out. Right.
I think that's a very good point. I think that there might be other reasons for rejecting him too, because
one more thing I like to say.
His religion is a curious mixture of Calvary and the OK Corral.
One more thing I like to say. Fear of white people stops a lot. Now, I'm not naming the names, but many of your black people who come on your TV shows every week slip to our meetings, donates to them financially. Muhammad speaks is all in his house under his beds.
Yeah.
But when he sees you, that's a boss. I
haven't run into any of those.
Well, they're around.
Give me
They're
their
around.
names and phone numbers.
Many of the black leaders slip in his back door. Civil rights leaders, but they don't want the press to know it. And fear keeps a lot of our people from coming to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's preaching.
Now, they say, whatever the government's reasons, most black people are convinced that Muhammad Ali was victimized because he is black, because he is a member of the country's most vulnerable minority. Now, this magazine, which is sympathetic to you, didn't say because you were a Muslim, a follower of Allah. They said because you were black.
I would say that whoever wrote that actually believed that this is the reason.
Yeah,
but
you don't believe it.
No, not just because I'm black. Much money white people can make
why
on
wouldn't
me.
the devils go after you just because
Much money as the devils can make on me. Commercials, advertisements, movies, heavyweight title fights. Man, millions of dollars was made when I fought. Let me tell you something.
Well, why didn't they stick with you then? Why didn't they stick with you?
I got one more thing to tell you.
Yeah.
The government is so out to get me because of who I am, so that I can't donate to the works of Elijah Muhammad. Man can take $1 and make $10,000 come from it.
But you've written that Elijah Muhammad refused to take your money.
Right. Let me say one thing to you. I owe him money, as a matter of fact, $100,000. Let me say one thing to you. Government supplies was threatened if you let him fight. And the next day, no comment, but no fights off.
Why can't you fight outside the country?
Oh, they took my passport. They got that early. Well, I'll tell you why, I have about $3 million in Asian, African, and European exhibitions, not fights, just in the Muslim countries. They're dying to see me. So now, $3 million. The prosecuting attorney from Washington came to Houston, told the judge I was going to Japan for the first exhibition. Had about $500,000 pick up. They envied me making money. I didn't even need America. I was so popular outside the country. Until the prosecuting attorney came from Washington and said, Judge, we cannot let this man go to Japan to fight because they are anti-American. They're going to praise him and hail him and meet him, we understand, at the airport, make a hero out of him. They might make him a millionaire fugitive. His penalty is so serious, 5 years in prison, $10,000 fine, he might not return to the country. Now, if I want to leave the country, I know how to leave.
Sure.
Tomorrow, quick, easy, if I really want to leave. That's not the intention. The intention is to stop me from making a living, to punish me, you understand?
You're right with you.